How's it going? Aquarius Community. Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So some key words here is hang on, Aquarius. This roller coaster of life is about to be a bumpy ride. Don't forget to laugh through the tough times where you feel all you can do is take 10 steps back. Your patience and how far you have healed or how much you have healed is going to be tested. Oh my goodness, it's going to be tested through December, I feel like. Through your frustrations, will you be able to let go what doesn't serve you and confront the things that make you feel uncomfortable through the good side of the ego? Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this bumpy ride. There's definitely some stuff going on when I actually look into the energy of Aquarius. What I'm hearing to say is there's something else that's running interference in your energy. It's just kind of like if you've ever watched the Jerry Springer show or even Maury, you notice on these shows when the people are trying to go at each other and fight, there's just always somebody in the middle. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd be watching that and I'd be like, oh my god, that'd be so difficult to try and fight somebody, but there's somebody in the middle of you pushing each other away. Every time you go and try and swing, they're stopping that swing. So this is something where you're trying to do things in your life, but there's just something in the middle between whatever you're trying to accomplish, just throwing your game off on the moves that you're trying to make. I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't even know if you've seen this person, place, and or thing. But it's definitely already coming up in here. So first thing I see is definitely unfazed. We're confused about how to stay unfazed to things. We could be dealing with car issues, automotive issues, transportation issues right now, or maybe even getting ready to deal with transportation issues coming up. So let's start unburying some of these cards here. We have threatening energy here, somebody who hasn't quite let go. And what I'm hearing is whatever this energy is running interference on what you're doing is they're getting desperate. Somebody is getting really desperate. And whatever this has to do with, it's somebody's not very clean. Somebody could be not very honest about what's going on. And this could be honestly feeding what's going in or going on within this person, whoever's running interference. But we have somebody here on the flip side who can't even fake things anymore. They're having a tough time, maybe not even giving themselves an option to move forward. Aquarius, if you've noticed something lately within the past few weeks and you try to brush it off just so you don't over harbor on it, whatever you were thinking about, I feel like this is reconfirming it. And kudos to you for not letting this confuse you, for not letting this get you stuck again. Because like I said, just a lot of stuff is going to be coming up. Maybe you are going to be confronted with escapism. Maybe you could be having a lot of different issues that are going to pop up one thing after another, and it doesn't even have to be per se caught a case. Maybe it's something with your health. Maybe something with your health, something with escapism, and maybe something with somebody else's health. But being able to process what's going on, whether it has to do with you personally, somebody that you care about, somebody that you don't want anything to do with, kind of thing. So just know, being unfazed, letting it be like a water on duck's back, letting stuff just roll off of you. You have came so far in life that you are going to be tested, and you're going to be tested in some extremes, because what I'm hearing is we want to see where you're truly at. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean your guiding energies, the ones that have been helping you out on your journeys, the ones who are sending you messages. Remember, they don't always come in and they don't always try and protect us, save us, guide us. Sometimes they have to take a step back and they have to let us go through the ringer to see what we actually have learned and if we can apply it to our journey. Just know that. Keep the mindfulness going. Keep everything that you've been practicing going. And don't forget the power of being able to redirect yourself. That's what I'm definitely being highlighted to tell you. Escapism is fun. I like to escape through food, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, maybe there's going to be times where you can't do that thing that helps you kind of cope with stuff. So when you don't have those kind of things, definitely you are being tested. So let's see how you can handle things, Aquarius. I have faith in you, and your guides have faith in you, else they wouldn't let you step up to this test by yourself. So that is quite a bit of an introduction here. Whatever it is, I just feel like this person in your energy, and I feel like it is a specific person in your energy, is just kind of looking at what you're doing. But what I get is their view is like looking into a snow globe. They feel like they have so much that they can see on you, but they really don't have much they can see, because if you think about a snow globes are not that big. So this person may be upset that they only get such a small view of you. I don't know what this is. Oh my goodness. So let's get out of that introduction. Let's get more into the present. You're definitely feeling on your own about things. Trying to have sound judgment when it comes to dealing with the problems that you're having, whether with your health, whether with this interference, whether with transportation issues. But it's definitely something I feel like you've just been trying to go one day at a time, just kind of keeping the momentum going, trying to put old habits to rest while trying to develop new habits through the tricks, through the trickery, through the tricky times that we're having right now. And I get that. Whatever this is that has to do with health, maybe somebody else who's not the greatest that's running interference, you definitely almost have sound judgment on it, on the different little issues that are coming into you. You've almost completed jumping over these hurdles and having sound judgment. Kudos, kudos, kudos. But what we're confused on is our passions. We're confused on being passionate towards others. We're confused on how to keep that momentum of our passion still leading the way. Why are we having this confusion when it comes to our free will? There's something here that we need to get up from. We need to get up from feeling so selfish about things when it comes to how we deal with things. Sometimes we could feel bad when it comes to dealing with others and even getting mean with others. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. I know your energy very well. My rising sign is Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. So that means my rising sign. So first house Aquarius, Sun's in there, Mercury's in there. My communication skills are totally Aquarius. So what this means is I really, really can be patient. And if you talk to a lot of people, if a person cannot woo an Aquarius, win an Aquarius's love, then Aquarius is very cold with people. All right, we don't got time for bullshit. And for the ones that we do love, the ones that we do care about, or have cared about, we can be the most patientest person. But what happens when you push an Aquarius too far? I'll tell you what happens. That Aquarius is going to tell you everything that they've held back so far. And you are really, really going to get a taste of how an Aquarius can defend themselves. And every time I hear a person talk about their partner who's an Aquarius, that's what they say. An Aquarius's mouth, man, they can run it. But that's because we've been patient for you or with you for so long, and people don't understand that is the whole time you're dropping hints. The whole time you're trying to be polite with shit. The whole time you are trying to show a person you're not pleased with them, a place you're not pleased with them. But you finally push an Aquarius too far, then the fuse gets lit. And there's no stopping that fuse. And there's something here where a fuse has been lit, but you've given this person the benefit of the doubt, whatever it is, because maybe you're trying to get right. You're trying to find these new traditions to work yourself out of the disappointment of things. You know, you're trying to sit here and look up to new belief systems, building with these new belief systems. It could be believing what you deserve, coming to that, you know, putting down a very old way of how you react to things. That is something as well. But there's something here with a challenge. You still have a really hard time putting to end being very hard on yourself. You still have a hard time for calling the bullshit, right away for what it is. There's still a lot of giving others the benefit of the doubt here. And this is something that kind of hangs you up, because what happens is you over focus on others. You over focus on maybe what others are thinking, maybe how others are perceiving you. Maybe you're over focusing on why they're doing what they're doing to you. And that is something that keeps your free will like in limbo. Maybe this is something that you are taking out on yourself as well, opposed to being accepting that whatever this is, whoever this is that is in your background running interference, that they are just a piece of shit. Excuse my language. I'm going to call it for what it is. No, I shouldn't even call them that, honestly, because that's not a very, that's me using my bad ego, wanting to point the finger. The whole thing is, whatever the situation is definitely being presented to you, because there is this certain thing where you need to create this movement, this stability within yourself, the stability within your beliefs, the stability that just because you get some folly from an individual, it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to find everywhere else you go. You have to remember, some people will target you and they will mess with you and they will mess with you to throw you off from going to anyone else. Sometimes people just like to see others put in the cage because they themselves are in their own cage and they can't get out, whatever that is. You have to remember, whatever's happening here with another, yes, it has to do with you, but it has to do a lot with them, whatever they're doing. Another person's intentions, another person's actions are not something you can really hold yourself accountable for. You know, I mean, in your mind you can, but that person is their own individual. And I feel like whatever this is something that you go back and forth in your emotions. What am I doing that is making this happen? And it really has nothing to do with you. That has to do with them. But the test is if you can still see how much you've built, see how much you've invested in yourself, and see that you have the free will to be able to, if you need to, call them out. And that's what I'm hearing. Call them out. If you see somebody acting stupid, you don't always have to be patient to where they push you to an edge to where you get reactive. That is what I'm hearing to say. Oh my goodness gracious. That makes me a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because I am a very patient person. I really, really am. And I hate to call shit out right away. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But whatever this isn't going away. And whoever this is about, I can't see them here. I can't. No cards have came up for them. Honestly, no cards have came up for them. This is all about how you are handling this situation in your background. It's almost like smoking mirrors. This person plays a lot of freaking tricks, and whatever it is, they pop up in the most random of places, I feel like. Again, because all they have is that snow globe view of you. You've made moves to really private out your life, I feel like. Let's go ahead and call in the angels of protection. Angels, angels, angels of protection. Please help guide and protect us as we navigate the block for the Aquarius. Just know, Aquarius, what you have done to follow your intuition is definitely been one of your saving graces here. Whatever this situation is, it may have helped you get more in touch with your intuition, because whatever is hooked on you, you have distanced yourself from. There was something that told you that this is not good for me. Whatever this is not going to do any more for me. It can't, all it can do is take from me. And whatever this situation it is, whoever this is, they are not of good energy. I don't know. It doesn't look like they can provide anything for you, Aquarius, but means of escapism and health risks. That's all I can say, is a lot of health risk here. And for some reason, I feel like they really want to push you into a corner. And that could be a reactive corner. Maybe a corner where you get desperate. You have to be careful with that, Aquarius. Just know you're being tested right now. Are you going to give into temptation? Or will you still hold your head up high while riding this roller coaster, knowing that you can have your faith and you will make it through? Oh my goodness gracious, this is gonna do it right here. It's a lot that's coming out for the block, things that are piled on top of things. So we have a lot happening in the present, and I feel like we have a lot happening in our past. Before, it was really hard to walk away from things. It was really, really hard not to overreact to people doing stupid shit to you that makes you feel like you're freaking crazy. You know, these people could be people who have certain reputations, but their reputations, I feel like it's just all about them. All about them, all about what they want, and because they can't get what they want, they could get upset about it. You have people who fear rejection. But what they do with it is just very depending on the individual. For me, I'll let you know, I fear rejection. Been working on it this year, getting better. But for me, with my fear of rejection, I don't even go for things that I feel like I'm going to get rejected. I just clam up and go about my business and just say, I'm totally fine just doing me. Whereas other people can't handle rejection in the sense of if they feel rejected, they get angry and then they get hyper focused on things. And I'm actually learning that lesson through a neighbor that I have. I'm not gonna lie, I had to reject being nice to this neighbor because they wanted other things, and the conversations that they started having with me, I felt like were very, very inappropriate. And then they sat there one day, were trying to like check me out, and no, this guy is like, no, ugh. Anyways, so this person pushed it too far, and I completely cut off communication, figured that they would get the hint because they have a girlfriend and everything, that they would just get the hint. Well, I'm gonna let you know, they didn't get the hint. They came down to try and confront me on me not wanting to talk to them, and I had to tell them plain and simple, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. I don't want anything to do with this. I just want to go about my life. And I kid you not, this neighbor sat there, started cussing, got upset, and started to talk about his reproductive organ. And he stood in that parking spot yelling and talking about his reproductive organ the whole way I'm going up the stairs. And then even the day later, he wants to come out of his apartment busting out, trying to sit there and talk about his bed again to me. And since then, it's just been hell. This neighbor has been hyper focused. They just haven't been the great person, and they've been messing with me the whole time, over a year now, any which way they can, to try and get a reaction. And they even tried to get another neighbor in to try and smooth things out. And I'm just told this other neighbor, this person's crossed boundaries that I'm just not okay with and I'm not comfortable with. So when that didn't work for this neighbor, they still try to do things to mess with me. And I can tell that they're hyper focused because there's times where they're peeking out their window. There's times where I'm going down my stairs trying to talk to my child, and they're trying to play their instrument so loud that I can't barely hear me and my child talking. And they went for such a level of loudness as soon as they seen me and my child going down the stairs. So, I mean, you will have people, this is just one example of a person that I've rejected and I've had to deal with retaliation with. Do I have another person in there? Yeah, I have quite a few. So this does happen in real life where you deal with people who can't handle rejection. I'm sorry, Aquarius, you're just a really, really cool person, and there's something about you that's so special that these low frequencies want to get their claws into you so they can start feeding off of your energy to make them feel good. Because you got to remember, your rejection makes them feel less because they don't know how to process it. That's not on you. That's on them. That sounds like somebody needs to heal. Somebody needs to grow up. And somebody needs to understand that rejection is a part of life. And this is something that you kind of face a lot when it comes to communities. Maybe this is something that you have to face a little bit more often than others. And what stinks is when you first sit here and get in these situations with people before they go all cray, you really give them the benefit of the doubt. You kind of overlook little behaviors that they do and stuff like that. But then they sit here and start to go all freaking crazy, and you're left not knowing what to do, not knowing which way to look, not knowing how to solve this and get this person off your ass. And you know what? This does make you feel less. This makes you feel helpless in the sense where you just don't know where or how to feel about things. Because again, nothing gets solved, nothing's getting fixed. It really makes you question your success. You know, how these people can rock your stability makes you feel like, you know, nothing's ever going to change. Because the thing is the reason why things don't feel like they're going to change, especially when it comes to dealing with dishonesty with people, is there's a new skill that you have to learn. And that's what I'm hearing to say. And that's how to read the energies a little bit better. Maybe instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt or always feeling like you have to have yourself open to others, maybe not having yourself always open to others. Not necessarily blocking off whoever comes in, but making somebody, in a sense, work for it through how they demonstrate their ethics, how they demonstrate their morals, how they use this compass of ethic and morals to navigate certain situations. That's something. But also, you cannot prevent the inevitable. You cannot predict how people are going to react to your rejection. Just like you cannot predict when they're going to get over it. But what you can do is work on your inner stability and how you handle it. So not getting reactive, but being more diplomatic and being more protecting of your energy by not focusing on them. Because that's what they want. This person who's looking at your life as if it's in their own personal snow globe is so heavily focused because they can't be in there with you. That's what it is. And when you can realize that, then you're going to be able to move forward, but still protecting yourself. You're not going to feed into their little behaviors. You're not even going to notice what they're doing because, again, what they do is to try and get your attention, even if it's in a negative way. How can we take your willpower and put it to something different, creating a different movement to where you can be more nurturing with your environment, opposed to feeling like you have to always draw yourself in and maybe hide yourself away just to prevent things. That could be another thing too. Whew. All right, so let's call in divine for this conclusion as we get out of this block here. Was not sure how this was going to work out here, especially with the T Oracle. But hey, whatever you did to avoid whoever was your best thing. Honestly, because if you would have stood friends, if you would have let this person pursue you, this would have got really unhealthy really quick. Because a person who hyper focuses on somebody after they've been rejected has a lot of control issues. And you can see that by their threatening manner through the things that they do to you. How they try and make you feel less. How they try and make you feel this big because they feel this big. Because you rejected them. They're not for you. Oh well, workplaces will try and do that as well. Try and make you feel this big because you made them feel this big because you no longer want to put up with their shit. Oh well, step up or step out. That is my little thing right now. Either you can step up and keep up or just step out and let me do my thing. Alright, so divine and universal energy. What are the positive messages here for the Aquarius frequency? So with this oracle deck, is this the, let me see. Yeah, the Cosmic Belief Oracle. It's all about coming back to ourselves, coming back to the divine, and aligning ourselves within with the divine. So, where'd it go? Something that we're at, excuse me, hold on. Something that we're at the biggest distance with, we don't want to see, or we have a hard time seeing, and we're at odds ends, is I release time. I let the universe tell me what to do. Alright, I feel this. Sometimes when a person keeps messing with you and messing with you and messing with you, you get a little sick and tired of being sick and tired of their bullshit. But just know their misery wants you to keep it company. Remember, they're looking at you like you live in a snow globe, wishing that they could be in there too. But all they get is this little view of you, and that upsets them. So just know they're trying to find any way to infiltrate this snow globe to be next to you. And that's even if, or even at the expense of you keeping their misery company. Because if that's all they can have of you, they'll take it because you're focusing on them. Be careful, be careful. Every time I choose to align my spirit, the guidance of the highest truth appears. This is something that you gotta let work itself out. Put your trust in the divine. I'm hearing put yourself in a position where you are able to trust the flow of things, how the sun will set on certain situations in due time. When I integrate my wishes with my faith, I can take action from a calm place rather than controlling. You know, like I said, Aquarius, you're just one hell of a person, and your rejection just stings others. Instead of trying to control the situation, let it go. Let the divine have the control of it, because what I'm hearing to say is everything's going to come out in the wash anyways. People are going to notice the actions of this other, and the actions of this other are actually going to take a toll on them too. Again, the karmic wheel is always spinning, and it spins through our reactions to things, but it also spins through the actions we take towards things. So just know, whatever is happening here, karma is hitting this person in its own way. The fact that they can't move forward and they have to hyper focus on you is negative karma there, and that takes an extreme amount of energy spent, I'm hearing to say. I let the universe catch up with my dreams. Oh my goodness. Sometimes when we come so far in our healing journey, we really feel like things should meet us differently. We feel like situations in our lives should change, or maybe our views, or maybe how they react to things, say through our rejection or from our rejection. But the thing is, that's on them, and what is still meant for our future is still to come. Just know what's happening in the present is just going to help you realize when you get to where you want to be, when you overcome these hurdles, that you made it, and you can be able to see the fruits of your labor from never giving up and never going and keeping misery with this person. Because again, if you want to go keep their misery company, I should have said, then it's going to take energy from you. You're going to have to unfocus from the things that you're working on to go tit for tat with this person. And that's going to take away from things that you're dreaming about in your future. Just know that. So keep that focus, keep that focus, keep that focus. And what I wanted to say from the very beginning, even with the keywords, is eye on the prize. No matter what, no matter who, eye on the prize. I slow down and I listen to the sounds I can hear. I feel like that is something you can do with your free will. Instead of just reacting or wanting to react to whatever's happening around you, to what they're doing, slow yourself down, bring it back to mindfulness. Instead of going into your anxieties and your worries about, oh my God, I have to deal with this again. Oh my God, it's a year later. It's 3 years later. This person still isn't over it. Oh my God, what can I do to get this person over it? Just forget them. Forget them. Forget them. Forget them. Bring it back to the moment of now. Unfocus from the games that they play and focus on what you're doing now. So what? They're acting like an idiot. You got your day to conduct. You got things that you got to take care of. Let their behavior be like water on a duck's back. Just let it roll off of you. I don't have to be afraid of my fear. I can use it as a way to approach love. Sometimes when we're worried about others, how others treat us, that is an exact fear because we're worried about what we're doing. How did we get to this point and stuff? Like I said, others' behavior really has nothing to do with you. How can we confront this fear that this person is only reacting to you and it's never going to end? Well, we put it to an end. We put it to rest. We let it go. And we let them be in their misery. That's how we do it. Instead of waking up every day anticipating somebody messing with us, we just put it to rest and let it be. Let them keep themselves company. I treat others with kindness while establishing clear boundaries to protect my good feelings. I really, really, really like that because this is something that really weighs heavy in your mind. You know, you really overcame reacting a lot to it. Keep going. I really feel like you don't have to play nice with somebody. You don't have to be fake to somebody. You can be real, but you don't have to stoop to their level. You are allowed to protect yourself, just like you are allowed to let people into your life, as well as you are allowed to give them the boot. Just know that. Keep that in mind. And whatever this person's doing, they're not allowed in because of their behavior. And that's fine. Establishing that you have reacted in a way to protecting yourself. Just because this person has their own circumstances doesn't mean that you are not allowed to protect yourself. No, you are. Just remember that. You have to have your own back, because if you don't, people will put you as their doormat. Alright, something you're at odds ends with and you have a hard time seeing is, I believe that my strong will combined with my faith is enough to make my vision a reality. I feel like I need to say things are going to balance out. The sun will set on certain things while rising with others. Just know when you get through this emotional hurdle and you're able to put down the resentment you have towards this situation, then no longer will this situation bother you. Whatever this person is, whoever they are, what I'm seeing is they're just going to turn into like a fly to you, where it's just like really in your background. There's not really much that they can do, and when you see them, you're just going to poof, smack that fly, eliminate it, and it's no longer your problem. But it doesn't mean that you're going to go chasing this fly down. It doesn't mean that you're going to want to sit here and try and do the most elaborate things to trap this fly. If anything, you can open a door and let the fly right out too. Just know that. You have your free will. How you use it is up to you. How you invest it is up to you. How you use it to protect yourself, is also up to you. In life, we are taught to treat others how we wish to be treated, Aquarius, but sometimes that isn't reality. Because you have a situation here where somebody's still running interference with you. They're still trying to mess with you, even though you moved on. So obviously this is not going to be applicable here. So you don't have to extend extra kindness to them. You don't have to extend being courteous to them. You don't even have to extend acknowledging them. You just go about you. You find out what you got to do to move forward from this and no longer invest in it. And therefore, so whatever they do from here on out has no way of affecting you. They will no longer exist to you. In other words, they're not going to be on the same timeline anymore. But when you invest into their behavior, that's pulling them into your timeline. Keep that in mind. All right, Aquarius, this is going to conclude it. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your patience. And as always, don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And I hope you have a most wonderful rest of your day.